Surely you've heard of a 5-step plan before. You've probably also heard of a 12-step plan to deal with alcoholism or other drug-related treatments. But have you ever heard of a 39-step plan? No? Well, neither have I, because that sounds absolutely dreadful. Who'd want to take that many steps just to try and deal with just about anything? So don't take the 39-step plan, take this shortcut. But wait, how does that pertain to this game? You'll find out shortly. Actually, it'll take quite a while, but you'll find out. Hiya folks, Fruit and Doggy here, jumping back from the 39 steps. I'm trying to remember where we left off. That's right, he's back on top. He's living the good life. Because, he came across a fisherman while whistling. And that was just the break he needed. Good luck, bad luck, he has all the luck. Sir Walter awaited me in the dining room. The sight of him, so respectable and established and secure, the embodiment of law and government and all the conventions, took me aback and made me feel an interloper. He couldn't know the truth about me, or he wouldn't treat me like this. What truth? Not like you've been killing people. I simply could not accept his hospitality on false pretenses.
I'm more obliged to you than I can say, but I'm bound to make things clear. I'm an innocent man, but I'm wanted by the police. I've got to tell you this, and I won't be surprised if you kick me out.
That's all right. Don't let that interfere with your appetite. We can talk about these things after dinner.
Well, that's right good thinking right there, I tell you. It made me almost hysterical to be sitting there, waited on by a footman and a sleek butler. Don't you mean grave butler? I remember that I had been living for 3 weeks like a brigand, with every man's hand against me. I mean, you met plenty of people who did you a good turn. So, again, turn it down a little bit. Then we went to his study for coffee. Mad that. No tobacco, no alcohol, just coffee. I made up my mind that if I ever got rid of this business and had a house of my own, I would create just such a room. The piano, the singing fish over the fireplace, down to the finest detail. Then when the coffee cups were cleared away and we had got our cigars alight, he bade me get started with my yarn. I mean, I was reluctant to eat his food and take advantage of his hospitality, but, you know, a cigar.
Obey Harry's instructions. And the bribe he offered me was that you would tell me something to wake me up. I'm ready, Mr. Harry.
Wake me up inside. I can't sing, don't expect... Wait, what? I didn't even get to read the text? I didn't progress that. Game, how dare thee? I told of my boredom in London, and then I'd come... in the night, I'd come back to find Scudder gibbering on my doorstep. I told him all Scudder had told me about Carolitis and the Foreign Office Conference, and then made him purse his lips and grin. Of course, I didn't tell him everything about Carolitis, because I kind of ignored him on those points. Then I got to the murder, and he grew solemn again. Hear all about the milkman, and my time in Galloway, and my deciphering Scudder's notes at the inn. He drew a breath when I whipped the little book from my pocket. Oh, 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 oh. I described my meeting with Sir Harry in the speeches at the hall. At that he laughed uproariously. Oh, my stupid nephew. Wait, I like how the roadman is lowercased. He doesn't deserve caps lock the roadman. Ha! Ha! My day as the roadman excited him a bit. He maybe described the two fellows in the car very closely, and seemed to be raking back in his memory. He grew merry again when he heard of the fate of that ass Jopley. And that Jopley's ass had that too, huh? The old man in the Moreland house solemnized him. Again, I had to describe every detail of his appearance. And that's it. That's the entire, about a month of going-ons. I mean, why did it...
dismiss the police from your mind? You're in no danger from the law of this land.
Great Scott. Have they got the murderer?
No. But for the last fortnight, they've dropped you from the list of possibles.
Why?
Principally because I received a letter from Scudder. I knew something of the man, and he did several jobs for me. He was half crank, half genius, but he was wholly honest. Trouble about him was his partiality for playing a lone hand. That made him pretty well useless in any secret service. A pity, for he had uncommon gifts. I think he was the bravest man in the world, for he was always shivering with fright, and yet nothing would choke him off. I had a letter from him on the 31st of May.
But he had been dead a week by then.
The letter was written and posted on the 23rd. He evidently did not anticipate an immediate decease. His communications usually took a week to reach me, for they were sent undercover to Spain and then to Newcastle. He had a mania, for concealing his tracks.
Didn't do him much good in the end. But I was about to say, why is the game summarizing the story to me? Like, I've been there the whole time. He got up and crossed the room to a cabinet, bringing back Scudder's letter. Oh, gosh darn. I mean, I appreciate that it actually is a handwritten letter, but I'm not going to try to read that. Sir Walter, I am in the gravest danger. My worst fears have been realized. My enemies are here in London. They have made themselves known. I cannot write more in case these words be intercepted. But you can identify who you're sending the letter to. That's not a concern. But I found shelter with a good friend who lives near Portland Place. God willing, you will hear from me before the 15th of June. Your servant, Franklin P. Scudder. Okay, also 2 comments. So this guy did jobs for Sir Walter, would have made an excellent spy, but he was absolutely unwilling to work with others. Probably because he was, both very brilliant, but then also widely paranoid.
I think his object was to clear you if anything happened. But when I got it, I went to Scotland Yard, went over the details of the inquest, and concluded that you were the friend. We made inquiries about you, Mr. Hannay, and found you were respectable. I thought I knew the motives for your disappearance. Not only the police, the other one, too. And when I got Harry's scrawl, I guessed at the rest. I've been expecting you any time this past week.
Thank heavens.
You can imagine when a load this took off my mind. I felt a free man once more. Well, true. I mean, you have to worry about the people trying to kill you, but you don't have to worry about the police. That you're,
now, let us have the little notebook.
You're a criminal. Yeah, sure. It took us a good hour to work through it. His face was very grave before he had finished, and he sat silent for a while. Very gravely silent.
I don't know what to make of it.
He didn't sound too grave.
Thing. What is going to happen the day after tomorrow? How the devil could it have got known? That is ugly enough in itself. But all this about war and the Black Stone, it reads like some wild melodrama.
Tell me about it.
I only had more confidence in Scudder's judgment. Trouble about him was that he was too romantic. He had the artistic temperament and wanted a story to be better than God meant it to be. He had a lot of odd biases, too. Jews, for example, made him see red. Jews and the high finance.
Sounds like he'd have a lot in common with the Germans.
The Schwarzer Stein. Yeah, it's like a penny novelette. And all this stuff about Karolides.
Fun if you toss in the fire.
That is the weak part of the tale, for I happen to know that the virtuous Karolides is likely to outlast us both.
On what basis?
In Europe that wants him gone. Besides, he's just been playing up to Berlin and Vienna and giving my chief some uneasy moments. No. Scudder's gone off the track there. Frankly, Hannay, I don't believe that part of his story. There's some nasty business afoot, and he found out too much and lost his life over it. But I'm ready to take my oath that it's ordinary spy work. A certain great European power makes a hobby of her spy system, and her methods are not too particular. Since she pays by piecework, her blackguards are not likely to stick at a murder or two. They want our naval dispositions for their collection at the Marinant. But they'll be pigeonholed. Nothing more.
It's hard to interject any comments when it's a constant stream of dialogue.
There's a trunk call from London, Sir Walter. There's Mr. Inc, and he wants to speak to you personally.
In the trunk? Blimey, I thought you lot were civilized. My host went off to the telephone. He returned in 5 minutes with a whitish face. I just sat there and kept smoking. Played the fish a time or two.
I apologize to the shade of Scudder. Karolides was shot dead this evening at a few minutes after 7.
Oh! I'm sorry, Scudder! Was I dead wrong? Oh! Looks like he's got egg on his face now, doesn't he, folks? So what's the point now? Wasn't that the whole objective of my adventure and my quest? To prevent that one act from happening? And just as I re-encounter the person who's gonna set things straight, well, before we even get started, before we put a single foot on that pathway... Yeah, too late. Done. We're done here. So, what is there left to do? Alright, I'll find out. I'm getting to the climax. I don't know, the last one or two have to be resolution. They have to be that sort of epilogue resolution. The final low point after the climax. The part where the tension slows back down and things balance out and we find out you kind of the good happenings afterwards. So we'll find out soon anyways. But that's going to be all for now, folks. I'll see you later. And as always, fruit and doggy.